Okay, so I think of these things to talk about, and I don't know, there just is like this energy or something, and it kind of is overriding everything right now. And you know, I know it's all this building up and it's going to just explode, you know, that the pendulum has been this way, it's about to swing back. There's a boomerang, all these different ways that you can describe it. But, you know, if you're tuned in to the energy and stuff, you can feel it building. And, you know, since I can't remember what I talk about, I may say the same things, but it's really on my mind. I am just, I don't even know. I would say kind of, it feels kind of like distraught or something. Like, oh my gosh, I just can't. How these people just stay so locked into this narrative, this false reality. And they just, it's like you try and give them information that they can use for their own selves to, you know, regain some logic or something. And I mean, they just as soon punch you in the nose. I mean, they are vicious. It is crazy. They are, oh my gosh. And they just attack. I made the mistake again of going on to Nextdoor. And I don't know, maybe some people don't know what Nextdoor is. I think everybody knows what Twitter is, and that's where I'm at most of the time. But Nextdoor is, and I just found out what it was when I moved out here rural, you know. I usually have always lived in the city. And, you know, I just didn't know about it, but a thing had come in my mail and said to join Nextdoor, you know, you stay in contact with your neighbors and build community, blah, blah, blah. And then when I was talking to other people, that they have Nextdoor, you know, and they're on the East Coast and stuff. So I guess it's a thing in more than just this area. But it is a social media that's geared towards just, you know, your area. It's not, I think it's bigger than your zip code because, you know, in rural, I don't know, the towns are a lot smaller, and so there's towns that are a little bit further away, and they're on there too. I really don't get how it works, really. But anyways, the people on mine, a lot of them have lived in rural communities, I don't know, most of my life. So a lot of them have lived, you know, in these little rural communities and never have lived, I don't know if they've even traveled. I don't know if they've had any experience outside of this. And they're very limited in how they look at things. And they just need things to just be, they can't really understand bigger concepts, it seems like. I don't know. It's weird. But, you know, you go on and you try and give him any information, you just get attacked by a certain group of people. And you can see there's another group of people, and they're hungry for information. They're confused about what's going on. And, you know, and then there's another group of people who have an awareness of what's going on and are trying to connect with other people who have the same understanding. But there's these group of bullies on there, and anyone who tries to communicate outside of their narrative, they just attack. I'm not even kidding. And they've got no substance to any of their arguments. They're just bullies, and they just will, you know, go after you. They'll ridicule how you look. They will, that's all they can do is name call and stuff like that. They don't have any evidence. They don't have any substance. It's just, it's bizarre. And you think like, well, you know, that you just got to get some of this information out. And yesterday, I can't remember what it was. Somebody was trying to say something and they got attacked by the bullies. And I just don't like bullies at all. And so I was mad. And I said something to the head bully. And of course, then I was just, you know, in his scope. That's all he could think of. He's still, you can't stop today. He's just, and this guy is, he just doesn't stop. Doesn't matter how many times you say, I'm leaving this conversation. Goodbye. Have a great night. Think what you want. You can get notified. He's commenting to you. He's commenting to you. And you just keep getting notified. I've turned my notifications off. And I still get notified when this, these people, and they love to get, they want to talk about you. I guess they think they're doing it behind your back. I'm not really sure what they think. It's just very odd. It's odd how much they don't want to hear anything outside of the narrative. They don't want anyone else to. Everything is fake news. Everything is lies. Unless they saw it on their news station, which they don't have a clue, even when you tell them that they are watching bias censored information. And last week, this same guy was talking about how much he appreciated the censorship. You know, he goes to Facebook for his news, and how much he appreciates the censorship because he shouldn't have to, you know, listen to these crazy alt-right conspiracy theorists, liars, and they need to just take all their nonsense and they're all fake news. I mean, all the stuff that he says. And it's like, okay, well, you know, you want censored material, so if you're not hearing things, you know, doesn't anything click in there? But it doesn't matter how many reasonable, thought-provoking things you say to them, they are locked in to this. And, you know, I know I've said it a bunch of times, like, I don't know what's going to happen to these people as, you know, this abrupt awakening is going to happen. And I try, you know, on Twitter and on Nextdoor, I'm constantly trying to wake people up. And it's not, you know, I'm not trying to wake them up to certain things going on. It's more of the big picture of what's going on. And the big picture doesn't have to do with all of these little triggering events. And they get so locked into these triggering events, and then they want to just fight with everybody. They want everybody to agree with them. They want everybody to listen to them. And, you know, I mean, you can see how out of balance they are and how much their ego and how much they have riding on this. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you know, you keep trying to say things. I mean, all these people out here who are, you know, running in to line up for the shots have no idea what's in them, have no idea that they're signing up to be a test patient. They have no idea how many people have died so far. They have no idea any of this stuff. And they're just, there's no thinking, there's no logic, there's no common sense, there's no thinking anything through or investigating or looking it up or trying to read both sides and trying to make a your own I don't know, your own logical choice. You know, you got to have more information to make one. You don't just get it from one source. And I don't know, it's very frustrating. Yesterday I was going to talk, but I ended up spending the whole entire day bawling my head off. My eyes hurt so bad yesterday, and it started, and this is right when Ted had said something, and this is where, you know, it really struck me, because I've already got people in my family getting the shot, and I have been saying and saying and saying, don't get it, don't get it, don't get it. And it's kind of like they're doing it to spite me at this point, to just prove to me how crazy I am. And so yesterday I was, somebody sent me, or I saw it on Twitter, but it is all of these different people's testimony to their reaction. And I couldn't get past... It's making my heart pound right now just thinking about it. I couldn't get past the first one, and I've seen a few different ones, but this one was pages and pages and pages of, you know, neurological damage. I mean, all sorts of stuff is going on, and it's horrible. And so I was bawling my head off, crying, you know, for all the people I know who have been taken advantage of by this system, that have no idea. They're just willing to walk off a cliff, and they don't even question it. And it just is, I just cried and cried and cried and cried. I planned on talking, and then I couldn't stop. My eyes just became big old, swollen. I was seeing double. My eyes were killing me. I have eyes problems anyways, but my eyes got damaged from the brain damage. But anyways, it's just so, just makes me so sad. But so when Ted had said something, you know, trying to repress information, it just really, really got to me. It was like, these people need to know what's happening with the shots, that there's people dying and stuff. I mean, that should be front page. It should be on every headline. It should be in every news leading story, what's happening. And they're covering it up, but these people who want everything censored can't see that because they're so busy. I don't really even know what they're looking at, or, you know, I can't wrap my head around it at all. I'm just so different than that. I'm so much more like, I think I would have been an explorer, you know. I would have been leaving on the ship to see if the earth was flat. Which, by the way, oh my gosh, go listen to some of those guys. I mean, I don't know all of them, but there are some out there who show so much stuff that there's no way that I could just 100% say, oh, they're wrong. The earth is round and we're spinning around and we're going fast, and you know, just go in and watch them. To me, the stuff that they show is just more evidence that we're just being lied to on every level. Every level. I mean, there's so many people still who want to just thrust everything into the Bible, you know. That's all that's going on right now. Look, you know, that's just the Christians, and they are sure. I don't know about all the other ones, but I see it all the time on Twitter. But that they, you know, Jesus is coming and all this stuff. And for all of our information to be manipulated the way it is, and for the Bible to be coming from the Vatican, I mean, there's no way that I would put 100% faith in the Bible. I wouldn't put 100% faith in any news outlet. I wouldn't put 100% faith in, I put it into myself, into what resonates with me, what I see, what I'm understanding, how I'm perceiving things. And it's definitely, I see all of these different people as manipulative liars out to enslave an entire species. And wish that other people could see it. And it's just really heartbreaking, you know, to see what's going on with some of these people. And, you know, when you get into the more aware crowd, you know, there's still so much, I don't know, coming from a spiritual background into this time, I have a different way of seeing a lot of this stuff. And, than what a lot of people that I'm hearing. And it makes me really sad when I hear people talk about how stupid these people are. They're stupid. They're too dumb. They deserve to be killed off the planet and stuff like that. Survival of the fittest. But, you know, they're not making these choices by their free will. They're being manipulated. They're indoctrinated. They're brainwashed. They're not thinking for themselves. So how can we just throw them aside and call them stupid? I mean, it's very frustrating when you're trying to get them to see things or understand things, but they're not, whatever this brainwashing, however it has gone on, it's not, it's like, you can't penetrate it. It is, it's weird. And, you know, I understand why it is happening, you know, like for us to witness this stuff so it never happens again. I mean, it's just really, really sad. And, I wish I could do more. I don't want to see, people suffer like this. You know, I wish it was a simple way that we could just wake everybody up and then help them understand what's really going on. And I don't know, I just feel like super defeated feeling about them, especially when it's people you care about. It's just, you know, I just know I gotta trust God, trust the positive, or, you know, trust my own knowledge of what's happening. But I'm just sad about my family. It makes me sad when I hear people, you know, talking about them being stupid and ignorant, like they don't deserve to be here. I just think that there's a lot of people who makes me super sad. You know, there's a lot of other stuff that I would rather talk about. And I don't know, like how to get in touch with your higher self, you know, how to start hearing what's inside of you. Because that's one of the things that it seems that they've done is cut people off from their internal language, their internal communication. And all the people who are really deep into this brainwashing right now but haven't been triggered to wake up, they do all have common things about them. And I know I've talked about it before, but they all don't seem to have that inner voice. Like they know that there's lying going on, like they have an awareness that something's not right. Someone's lying, but they're being misled of who's lying. And that's only adding to the confusion, you know? And for me, you know, I know I'm not the only one. I saw a woman talking today, and, you know, she hears them. I think a lot of people hear them. I think a lot of people just don't understand who's talking to them. I think a lot of people think their brain is formulating thoughts and just, you know, I guess that's what gives them their arrogance and their ego, as they think they have these superior brains that are making them, I don't know, really. Because to me, I mean, I am aware where my thoughts, if you want to call them thoughts, are coming from. And they're coming from outside of me. And I have an awareness. I talk to them. I have conversations. I'll have conversations out loud. I'll have conversations in my head. They communicate all the time. And I mean, I know I've said it before, like they'll tell you what's about to happen before it happens. They are constantly giving you guidance and stuff. And if you can't hear them, you have to just start practicing, start listening, start trusting. You know, I think it's going to be a big step for some people to start understanding that their brain is not just manufacturing thought and ideas or something, you know. I don't know. And, you know, I know I've talked about it before. There's ways to start communicating, you know. You can ask for signs, all sorts of stuff. See, I can't get my head to get out of this energy or something. Like it's just this, I don't know, it feels heavy and it feels tense. Feels unstable, like an unstable energy. And it is kind of like being in the ocean in a storm. Only you're the only boat out there all by yourself. You know, if you've taken any of those personality tests before, you know, like there's tons of those. And every time I take one, it always says like I'm in a 2%. I think before I've been like in the 3 to 5% group. Like I already know that I'm different than most people. I mean, I just talk to people. And I know I'm much different. And, you know, I feel very much like I'm here for a purpose. And, you know, I just got to go with my guidance of what that purpose is. And it has to do with sharing information that's going to be helping people. And right now there's all these people aren't ready for help, but pretty soon they're going to be. I just really just don't understand how it's going to. I mean, I've heard for a long time there's just going to be mass suicide and stuff, and I hope that that is not true. If there's mass suicide, hopefully it's the controllers, not the people who have been enslaved and abused their whole lives. You know, I know that this is a great time to be alive in this transition, that it only happens every like 26,000 years. And, you know, but it's also super draining, especially if you feel like you're here to help others. And then, you know, it's like you swim out to help them, and they're drowning out there, and you swim out there to help them, and they just start punching you in the face. And they don't want your help. They'd rather drown. And, you know, there's not a lot that can be done for that. But I think today's just, you know, it's just this energy. It's a heavy mood. There's just so much going on, and it just is so sad. So sad to see these people being abused, and they just don't even know. You know, they want to call us cattle, but they've like created it, because we aren't cattle. We're independent, free-thinking human beings with free will and spirit and drive and creativity. And, you know, we're here to create, experience, learn. And these enslavers have repressed, oppressed, you know, held us back from ourselves. So it's going to be a lot of self-discovery that's going to be happening for a lot of people. I think it's going to be really exciting, you know. I think that we just have to get over this hump. And, you know, I don't know how long it's going to last. I thought that on the, you know, that day, the swearing in day, I thought that was going to be the end. I didn't even have any idea. And it makes sense now, you know, that these criminals are just getting themselves in so deep, and they're exposing themselves for who and what they are and what their real agenda is. And, but the people who, they just thought the biggest problem in the world was the last 45. He thought that was the biggest problem and, you know, for him to be out of office, to them, that they think that this is how it's all happened. And they think, you know, they don't have to worry about anything now. Everything's great. You know, we were told that this orange guy was the problem on the planet, and if we just got rid of him, everything would just be hunky-dory. And they don't even know what this new guy's doing. They've turned off the TV. It's like, no, I don't need to worry about anything anymore. Now we got this great old guy in there. He's super duper. So, yeah, I don't know how long this is going to go on. I hope it's not going to go on for a lot longer. I hope it's going to be over soon. Hopefully, I can just clear this energy and get back to feeling optimistic, because I like that feeling much better. You know, a lot of people talk about the, you know, the dimensions and stuff like that. And it has to do with, you know, conscious awareness. If you are aware of your role in your own life, and you're coming from a healthy, feeling good, treat people right, you raise your vibration, you raise your attitude, you raise your awareness, you stop judging others and stuff like that. But also in there, you know, I mean, there's still pain, there's still frustration. It doesn't affect you in the same way it used to, but it's still there. I mean, we're still in this split reality. We're still, you know, I mean, it'll be great once everyone is in the other reality, but there's going to be so much stuff that has to be learned. Like, you can't have power if you don't know what to do with it, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are going to have to learn what that means, like how important some of these ideas are, because you can't, in this new reality, it is about helping others and knowing you're taken care of. There won't be people starving. There won't be people who don't have homes and stuff. All of that stuff will shift. But, you know, I mean, is there still going to be people who think that they need more? Because we're in that reality right now, right? I mean, people were millionaires, but that wasn't good enough. They needed to be billionaires. Then they needed to be trillionaires. You know, these money hoarding people that can walk past someone on the street who hasn't changed their clothes in a week, who are filthy dirty, who are scrounging for money or food or alcohol or whatever it is that they need to get through the day. They can walk past those people and not feel anything. When the rest of us, you know, we want to do something to help. It eats at us. It eats at us to know that others suffer. It's hard for us to enjoy a great meal when you know someone else is starving. So, you know, and that's where they've played on those emotions for so many people. I was one of them, for sure. I was a Democrat for 45 years. Wasn't until Bernie got screwed over by Hillary that I was leaving that party. I wasn't even sure I was ever going to vote again. I was so fed up. I mean, you could see, you knew they were cheating. It was so clear. And I didn't like Trump at all. He was not, I mean, I was believing all the stuff, that he was this completely narcissistic idiot who was destroying everything, who didn't care about human lives and stuff like that. And, you know, I was buying into that. And thank God for quarantine, because that gave me new vision. That 2020 thing that's real. There's so many people who got new vision in 2020, saw things in a much more realistic way. And just, you know, first it was just going in to listen to him, because he was talking about the illness. And coming from medical background, I knew that they were lying about it. Nothing they were saying was making sense. And so I started tuning in to see, like, what in the world are they saying now? And when I started doing that, I started hearing what he was saying. And then I would see the recap on the news, and it was very different. It wasn't at all the same as and it was all being manipulated information. And when I first started trying to tell people, they just couldn't hear it. They didn't even want to know. They didn't want to see it. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to, nothing. And I was like, this is weird. Why, you know, you would think that they would be like, want to know. But that whole TDS thing, that was very, very done on purpose. And it worked. Because you couldn't tell people anything. Nobody wanted to hear what I was saying. They all thought I had gone crazy. And suddenly, you know, I was a white supremacist and all this stuff. I was like, what are you talking about? how did I go from being one way and then saying they're lying about him, and suddenly I'm a white supremacist? Does that line up to you? Like, do you put those pieces together in your head? Because I can't. Doesn't make any sense to me. So, you know, and then once you start seeing it, and then you start going in, like, looking for other people who are seeing what you're seeing. And you start finding all these videos of people talking about it. And, you know, then you start, like, I started following a lot of those people. I would go on and listen to them. Oh, it was made the whole beginning of the quarantine not enjoyable, but definitely tolerable. Like, you didn't have to focus on, you know, sitting here day after day after day after day. It was, you know, it was interesting. Then plus, you know, you start seeing like, oh, so this is happening to a lot of people. And then people started, all of a sudden, it started clicking with people that they're doing this on purpose. They're manipulating us. They've been doing this for a long time. And people start trying to tell other people, and, you know, we're all met with the same thing. Nobody wants to hear it. And then they removed all the channels. They removed all these people who were talking about this stuff. And, you know, they wanted to separate us. They didn't want us to unify. They didn't want us to be in groups. They didn't want us, but it was kind of too late. We'd all kind of found each other. And this is global. This isn't just like, you know, a few people. This is a lot of people. I mean, Charlie Ward, and he was one of the first people who I started watching. And I know I've said that before. But when I started watching him, he had 37 followers or something. And he, and when I was watching him, he was talking about the new king. And so I wanted to go on and watch what he was talking about. And anyways, this morning, I get his emails and stuff now, and he has his own website in order to stop the censorship. So I'm not sure, they seem to talk pretty free and open if you go on to his thing. But anyways, the thing is that, okay, so if I started watching him like in March or April, and I don't remember looking at his following at the time. I know it wasn't very many people. I was sharing him with a lot of people, but I know it wasn't a lot of people. He has said when he started it was 37, and that's around the time he started. And so anyways, yes, this morning I went on to his thing to see. I just wanted to look and see. So how many followers does he have now? Almost 10 million. And that's just one person. You know, that's people that think like this is not real. Well, it's real for a lot of people. And a lot of people are waking up to the truth. I mean, 10 million people in a matter of months. You know, that it's not going the other way. But when you talk to the other people, they keep on telling me like, oh, you know, Trump's on his way to prison. And ask them for evidence. They don't have any. It's just this random, oh, he's going to prison. Him and his whole family are going to prison. It's like, oh, really? So what are the crimes? Like, what did he do? You know, where's the evidence of these crimes? And I've yet to have anyone show any evidence. I'm still waiting. Nobody has any evidence. It's just a narrative. But, you know, that they think that, you know, all of us, these supporters of his, white supremacists, that we're all, you know, we're all against Black people, minorities, I don't even know, you know. I mean, nothing they say makes any sense to me. But the people that are in this narrative locked in, they think that we are going to suddenly wake up to this reality. It's like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't even want to wake up in your reality. This is a horrible, horrible reality. I'm glad to leave it. Your reality is, it's full of tyranny. It's oppressive. It wants control. It wants, you know, I mean, it's horrible. Who would want that? You know, if that's what I would have to wake up to, I'd rather stay asleep. But in the other one, you wake up and it is freedom. It is loss of debt. It is, you know, self-realization. It is going out and expanding self. And I mean, it is just it's a blessing. And, you know, they can't see it at all. So, yeah, but the waking up to reality seems to be going the other way than what these people think. But they don't have anything logical going on. They have no, I don't think that they even understand anymore. I've been lied to so much, I don't think they understand what real evidence is. I don't think they understand. There's so many people. You can say, you know, you can say, send me the evidence, and they'll send you an article, like a CNN article, saying, sources say Trump this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's evidence to you? That's not evidence. That is someone's opinion. And they're manipulating you with that opinion. And the people with those opinions are trying to hide something. And what they're trying to hide is not good. It's really bad. And they all work together to hide it. And they all treat us like we're stupid idiots. And luckily, you know, they can't stop this awakening now. There's way too many people. I'm sure next week I can check Charlie's saying, and I mean, every couple weeks it's up another million. Because it was 8 million a couple weeks ago, 7 million. It just is, it's like so many people are waking up and wanting to know what's going on. And, you know, I feel like, you know, we're all going to be in this together, and there's going to be some of us who have skills or awareness or whatever that we can share and help each other. And, you know, I just had somebody last night, you know, I spent the whole day crying. I was very upset about the people that are being damaged by these shots and stuff. And so I, you know, I'd been crying, and I had problems with my eyes and stuff, and I had these people arguing with me all day, just ridiculing me, putting me down. And this one lady comes on and she starts saying, I don't even know what all she was saying, but she wanted to have a real conversation, you know. She wanted to really talk about this, you know. She doesn't like all this attacking and stuff. She just really wants a real conversation. So I said, okay, well, you know, I'll have a real conversation with you. You come by, we can talk on the phone. Let's, you know, have a real conversation. And, you know, I'll share what I know, and you can share what you know, and, you know, have a conversation about it. And so then this morning she had commented something, and so it was this long thing again with more of her stuff, you know. So I went in and I just DM'd her, and I said stuff. I said, I don't, you know, I'm just gonna say all this here. I don't have it the energy to go out there and say it on that page so that I can just be attacked. It's like you're thrown into the shark tank if you say anything on this main page of Nextdoor, because these bullies have taken over. And they're horrible, horrible people. And I don't know what is going to happen to their psyche when this happens. I mean, they're so locked in. But anyway, so I go on and I say this stuff, and I say, you know, I'm coming from a spiritual background. You know, all of these things that are happening, none of this stuff matters. It's all triggering events. It's all for your own self-realization and stuff like that. And she comes back to me and says, I don't know what you think. You know, she does not want to talk to me. She doesn't have time to look into anything. That she's too busy conquering racism in this community, that she has got to focus on that. There's no time to look into anything else. And, you know, that's all fine and dandy if I want to, but, you know, leave her alone. It's like, look, lady, you came to me. You're messaging me, asking me. What? It is so bizarre. They all just want to argue. They just want to argue. They just want you to just surrender and say, oh, you're so right. Oh my gosh, why couldn't I see it? I'm a racist. And I should have never followed that man. I should only follow this new regime. You know, it's bizarre. It's really weird to be in this split reality, because their reality, their communication, their words, their language, their ideas, their perception, their perspective, everything is, I get what people say when they say three-dimensional thinking. They're all in this three-dimensional mind control, you know. You cannot go out of it. You're a crazy person if you do. So anyways, now it's, I don't know, 47 minutes of me just, I don't know, I feel like I'm just whining. I feel like today's a whining kind of day. But, you know, sometimes that's how we feel. And we just got to own it, you know. Own your whininess. Stella's on the move. She's having some problems lately. She's very stiff. So, anyways, I'll talk to whoever I'm talking to later. Have a great day.